A very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the People's Forum of In the Streets with Big Stone. You've heard me mention in my New Year's message a man by the name of Thomas Thistlewood. Now you've been wondering why some of our Jamaican youths turn out to be killing, maiming, beheading, a lot of atrocities that has plagued this country started from this one man, Thomas Thistlewood. Now, I want to big up Queen Ifrica, because if it had not been for Queen Ifrica and the type of a patriotic matriarch that she is, I would never even come across this name. So Queen Ifrica, anywhere you are, big up yourself for bringing this evil bastard to light. And I want the rest of Jamaica to know about Thomas Thistlewood, because in this great future you must understand your past. I'm going to take you in a number of vlogs, a series, because his life is not just a few words. I'm going to take you into his biography. I'm going to take you into the early life and migration to Jamaica of Thomas Thistlewood. I'm going to take you into the fact that he was an overseer at Egypt, Thomas Thistlewood. I'm going to take you to the fact of the Takis War involving Thomas Thistlewood, the owner of Breadnut, his family, his life in Jamaica, brutal punishment of slaves and derby dose, mortality rates, sexual abuse and fibber, death and his will. I'm going to take you into a number of vlogs, so I want you to learn about this man, just like I did, and you'll understand where this evilness of Jamaica came from. Don't forget his name. His name is Thomas Thistlewood. Now, Thomas Thistlewood was born on the 16th of March in 1721. He died on the 30th of November 1786. He was a British-born planter in colonial Jamaica. Thistlewood migrated to the western end of the Colony of Jamaica, where he became a plantation overseer, plantation owner, and slaver. His lengthy and detailed diary is an important historical document chronicling the history of Jamaica and slavery there during the 18th century. The diary includes a detailed account of the brutal treatments of his slaves, including his torture and rape of enslaved women. Thistlewood routinely punished his slaves with fierce floggings and other cruel and gruesome punishments. Known as the Diary of Thomas Thistlewood, the 14,000-page diary provides a detailed record of his behavior and deep insight into plantation life and owner-slave relations. In 1751, he became an overseer of a sugar plantation called Egypt. Within days, he began raping the enslaved women. His diary chronicles 3,852 acts of sexual intercourse with 138 black women. He systematically raped enslaved girls and women. Those that ran away were whipped and put in chains, collars, or placed in field gangs. He sometimes raped more than one woman in a night, after which he would give them some coins for their troubles. In 1753, Thistlewood received a runaway slave's head, and he put it on a pole on the road near his home. Thistlewood invented a form of torture called derby's dose, which entailed flogging the slave, rubbing lime juice on their wounds, and having a fellow slave defecate in their mouth. In 1767, Thistlewood purchased a 160-acre plantation called Breadnut Island pen. By 1779, he had 32 enslaved people rearing livestock and growing provisions. All of his slaves were branded with his initial TITY on their right shoulders at Breadnut. Thistlewood made attempts to match his male and female slave. Despite this, he continued to rape the women. By 1781, Thistlewood was becoming regularly ill with syphilis, and his sexual abuse declined as a result. For most of the 1780s, Thistlewood slaves suffered with malnutrition while growing produce for the island's white population. If they were caught eating the produce, they were brutally flogged. While his slaves complained of hunger and starvation, Thistlewood entertained guests with lavish meals. He never married, but he had a long-term partner, an enslaved woman called Fibber, with whom he had a son. In 1784, he became so ill that he had difficulty writing in his diary and died at Breadnut Island in November 1786. In his will, he left £3,000, equivalent to today's money, 396,817, and 34 slaves. Thistlewood's treatment of his enslaved workers did not attract criticism from Jamaica's white settlers, but on the contrary, seems to have been typical of the brutality exhibited by British slaveholders in Jamaica. That is part one, ladies and gentlemen. Part one of a series that will educate all of us. Every single Jamaican should know who is or who was Thomas Thistlewood. I say is because his practice are still being perpetrated today. So even though he died in 1786 in November, but the works of Thomas Thistlewood still hangs over our head, still are perpetrated against our women and children and our men, and we have adopted this brutality, this wicked treatment of our people from this dirty, nasty man known as Thomas Thistlewood. Stay tuned. Part 2 of Thomas Thistlewood will continue. Please share this video. Please let every person on the planet Earth who have anything to do with Jamaica or who are concerned with what is happening in this beautiful country, we must learn of Thomas Thistlewood. Teach him in our schools. Just like how you taught Christopher Columbus, teach him in our schools. Just like how you taught the other colonial masters, Henry Morgans and so on. Teach Thomas Thistlewood in our school. Stay tuned for part 2 of Thomas Thistlewood.